Do not worry, my lord. I have repaired all the armour and weapons you recovered from the battle, and we have fitted out all of your men-at-arms, and we now have enough for another 10 warriors to be so armed. Excellent! You're a good man. He beamed, and I thought back to my half-brothers and the man whom I had thought was my father until a week ago. They would never have praised any of the workers on the estate, no matter what they did or sacrificed. Perhaps that was why he had had no loyalty from any of them. Branton and I kicked our horses and headed south. How many more volunteers, Branton? One advantage of my fame, some might say notoriety, was that warriors sought employment with me. There were many, for most of the northern lords had died at Stamford Bridge and Fulford, whilst the southern ones had fallen at Senlac. The disadvantage was that men sought you in battle to gain honour from your death in combat. There are another 15, my lord. My brother is assessing their worth and their skills even as we speak. Any archers? I saw the grin appear on Branton's face. It had been a sore point to him that he commanded fewer men than his brother. I saw the value of archers, of which Harold had had too few, for in the battles I had fought they had been crucial to success. I think we have 20 altogether, my lord, and some of them are good. The rest, he shrugged. I understood what he meant. Even poor archers could be improved by a good trainer, and Branton was just that. The memory of Edgart came to mind. He had fallen at the battle, defending me, and he was even better than Osbert and Branton when it came to making warriors out of the rough clay that arrived to fight for me. I turned in the saddle and regretted it immediately as the pain lanced up my body, but I continued my turn. Aelfraed had told me that I had to get the suppleness back into my body if I wanted to fight again. The small Mott and Bailey castle, one of the few in this part of the world, made me proud. Built upon my uncle's advice, it stood protecting the old Roman road and was a formidable obstacle to any invader, Norman or Scot. Branton saw my look and smiled. "It is a fine castle, my lord. You should be proud." "I am, Branton." I could not confide in Branton that it would mean nothing if the Normans decided to take it. It might be a barrier to the Scots who raided the Vale, but not the Normans. I knew that from my uncle. "Tell me, Branton, will your arrows pierce the mail of the Norman armour?" "A good question, my lord." He looked off to the south and then took a goose-tipped arrow from his quiver. "You see, my lord, that the arrows we use are intended to cause wounds." I could see what he meant, for the arrow's tip was sharp and then broadened. "This works well on flesh. Sometimes it will pierce mail rings, but not if they are well made. My men are trained to aim for the horses or the flesh of the warrior, but—" He suddenly looked at me eagerly, as though he has had an idea. "If Ralph could make the arrows so that they were narrower all the way down, then they would pierce the rings. The wounds would not be as big, but they would penetrate. Well done, Branton. When you return, tell Ralph to make some, and we will try them out." He looked at me curiously. "On Normans, my lord?" "Not at the moment, but there may come a time." Our ride and our ruminations were cut short when a rider from the castle suddenly galloped up. "My lord, a messenger has come from the Queen. She is at Jorvik." Reining our mounts around, we galloped back to Topcliffe. Our brief interlude in the backwater of the north had ended, and politics was returned once more. Aelfraed and the messenger were deep in conversation when we arrived back. Branton helped me down. Mounting was easier than the dismount. "Is she safe then, uncle?" He flashed me a look which told me to ask questions when we were alone. I might be lord of 2 manors, but to my uncle I was still the small boy he had sworn to protect. "Thank you. Tell the Queen that we will follow you as soon as possible." As the messenger remounted and galloped south,